Okay, y'all. Hey, what's up? I went to a party tonight. Had a good time. And I came home. Got home kind of late, but I decided to do some laundry. And so I didn't want to have to do it tomorrow. Well, later on today. So I'm just up. So I was like, let me just talk to the people real quick since I'm up. Let me tell y'all. So I met this dude, right? I met him yesterday. Met him yesterday. And I was on my way to go pick up some food. And he was like over next door to my neighbor's house or whatever. And so he saw me in the driveway, whatever. And he sparked up a conversation with me, whatever. So we talking or whatever. We got to talking. And we honestly talked for like 30 minutes, 30 minutes longer than what I really would have liked to. Because like I said, I was really on my way to go get some food and I was hungry as hell. So we started talking, and as we talking or whatever, he asked me, we get to the point of asking, do you have kids? I said, well, do you have kids? And he said, of course. And I said, oh, okay. I said, how many kids you got? He said, I got six. He said, um, four from my previous marriage, and the other two are from my ex girlfriend. I said, oh, okay. No, that's not too bad. He was married before, then that didn't work out. Then he ended up getting with another girl, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So he asked me, he said, do you have kids? I said, no. He said, you ain't got no kids? He was shocked. So I said, no. He said, why you ain't got no kids? He said, no. He said, he answered it for me. He said, you don't have no kids because you didn't want none. And I said, I didn't want them bad enough. He said, okay. And I love kids, and kids love me. Like, I have nieces and nephews. I'm like the favorite auntie, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, just nothing against kids. I just feel like when I look at my pattern, I really feel like I just didn't want them bad enough, because I definitely could have had some. So, anyway, he was like, oh, okay. So then he turns around and he asks me, he says, well, do you like sex? And I just kind of looked at him and I said, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Like, why would you ask that? He said, well, that's a fair question. That's a fair question. Because, no, it's not a fair question. It's not. You think it's a fair question because I don't have kids? No. And I said, I ain't never been asked that. Nobody has ever even said that to me. Regarding the fact that I don't have kids. Nobody has ever said nothing about, well, do you like sex? So I said here, I'm not gonna answer that. I said, because that ain't got nothing to do with it. And he was like, I'm just asking because you're asking that because that's something you want to know. You're not asking that because I don't have kids. You're asking that because you're making a correlation in your mind, like, well, dang, because mind you, remember how he acted surprised about me not having no kids, and when I asked him if he had kids, he said, of course. Everybody don't have kids. There's a lot of men who don't have kids. There's a lot of women who don't have kids. So you saying, of course, he was like, because he was like, I mean, almost everybody I know got kids. Everybody got kids. I know a lot of people who don't have kids. I know more who do, of course, but I know a lot of people who don't have kids. So, it's not too much of a shock when somebody tell me they don't have kids. So he was like, oh, well, I don't know anybody don't have kids. That's just shocking to me. So yeah, that's why you trying to ask if I like sex, because in your mind you trying to see like, whoa, do she like sex? Because so I kind of didn't like that. I'm the type of person, when I first meet a guy, I don't like no guy trying to bring up sex. Not in the first conversation. Not within fucking 24 to 48 hours of fucking meeting. Like I don't give a fuck about, oh, we grown. I get it, we are grown, and I'm grown enough to talk about what I want to talk about with you, and not talk about with you what I don't want to talk about with you. You know what I'm saying? You asking shit because really that's where your mind is going, for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of didn't like that. So I was a little irritated by that, whatever. But we still kept talking or whatever. And then, so we get to talking about, he asked me what my sign was, and he was like, "So what's your sign?" I was like, he was like, "Are you a Capricorn or a Leo?" I was like, "No." And I was like, I'm a Sagittarius. And he was like, for real? He was like, I'm a Sagittarius. And I was like, okay, are you November Sagittarius or December Sagittarius? He said, I'm the best Sagittarius there is, November. And I said, oh, okay. I said, November what? Child, why the fuck this nigga said November the 23rd? Why me and this nigga share the same birthday? I was like, what? I was like, my birthday November 23rd. He was like, oh my God. So he was shocked, right? We both was. He was like, I knew it was a reason why I met you. I knew it was something about you when I seen you. I just had to talk to you. Oh my gosh. He was like, I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps. He was all excited and stuff. And it did trip me out. I was like, what? But here's my thing. I'm not like hung up on it like that because I already feel like I don't even like his ass. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I just don't. I just don't. I could tell when I feel like he's kind of pushy. I don't like pushy acting ass men. I just don't. So, and the whole birthday thing, yeah, that is really cool. I mean, that was really interesting that we met and we share the same birthday. But I feel like if we act alike, we probably not gonna get along. You know what I'm saying? Probably not gonna get along. I don't want a guy that acts just like me. And not to say that I think there's nothing wrong with me, but I'm saying like you don't want somebody to act just like you. Y'all not gonna fucking get along. Like when they say opposites attract, that's the true statement. Like opposites really attract. You have to balance each other out. Like you need a plus and a minus. You know what I'm saying? You need a negative and a positive. You need you know what I'm saying? Like it's really it balances each other out. Where I want a guy that we are alike is where we share the same morals and values and things like that. But as far as our everyday personality, no, we would not get the fuck along. We would not. So anyway, so we talked whatever we talked, and he was like, he was like, after we talked or whatever, finally after 30 minutes, 30 maybe 35, 40 minutes, okay, I was finally going to get my food and stuff, and he was just like, well, I'll talk to you later, whatever. So, because we exchanged numbers and stuff like that. So, he called me later on, right, probably about 8 or 9, and he said he was out and about and stuff, and he wanted to see me again. And I'm like, I'm in the house now. I don't really want to come back out. I mean, I'm trying to decompress from the whole week. I'm tired. I just want to relax. And he was like, okay, well, I'm going to go to the liquor store and get me something to drink or whatever. He was like, since somebody don't want to see me, the fuck? Like, no. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm the weird one, but I just I feel like within 24 to 48 hours, man, I'm starting to know, like, if I really like a motherfucker or not. And I don't know. I just, I don't think I like him like that. I don't think I like him. And I don't care. Like, it's two things. It's a few things. I don't like when a nigga try to bring up sex within the first 24 to 48 hours. And y'all know I'm a conversationalist, right? I like to talk, you know what I'm saying? Hence why I have a podcast called Conversations with Miss Marcy. Okay. But if I talk to a dude, honey, and I realize he can talk more than me, I don't like his ass. I don't like no dude that can talk more than me. I don't. I don't. I be like, when I talk to a dude, it's either gonna go one or two ways in the conversation. We're gonna talk on the phone, initial conversation. I'm gonna either get out the phone thinking, oh, I'm looking forward to talking to him again, or I'm looking forward to seeing him. Or I'm gonna get out that phone thinking, I don't like his motherfucking ass. And usually, if the nigga talk more than me, that's usually how I think when we get out the phone. I don't care how good the conversation went either. I be like, he talk more than me. So yeah, this birthday twin dude, y'all. I don't know. He seems a little pushy. And I don't know. It might not work.